Live from Stadium Field on the campus of Darien High School on an overcast, rainy afternoon. It's varsity field hockey on the DAF Media Network. This afternoon, it's the Darien Blue Wave and the Fairfield Warde Mustangs. Hi, everybody. I'm Damian Andrews. So glad you could be with us for this DAF Media broadcast of varsity field hockey. Well, we had a weather system come in. A downpour for the last half an hour or so. It has cleared up, but it's still ominous. The clouds, as you saw when we first came on the air, but so glad you're with us. We are just about ready to get going here. Darien already on the field. Fairfield Warde in their huddle. And we want to give a shout out to our DAF media production crew, Ben Wychulis on camera 1, Braden Schenk on camera 2, our ISO camera. 3 events in 3 days for Mr. Schenk, so he has been busy with DAF media. And our director is Danny Owenati. So glad you could be with us. This is Damian Andrew of DAF Media joining you. Again, it has been a rainy last 30 minutes to 40 minutes here in Darien, Connecticut. There is supposed to be another weather system coming in. Both teams huddling up. And we will take a quick break, and we will be back with live field hockey on the DAF Media Network. We are back here live on the DAF Media Network. Damian Andrew alongside, joining me, as she so often does on these broadcasts, Kari Johns. And Kari, so glad to have you with us this afternoon. And as you just mentioned, when you first you came in hot here, we are underway. And you came in hot, you said, I didn't know if we were going to have this game with the weather. We've had some, Mother Nature has been working overtime, but we are underway here. Darien in the home whites. They are moving from right to left on your screen. Fairfield Warde in the black uniforms with the red numbers. They will be moving from left to right. Darien comes in undefeated. Kari Johns, Fairfield Warde 2-2, and they have played well. Impressive win against St. Joe's, and then 3 close games. A loss to Greenwich 2-1. They beat McMahon 3-0. Darien, of course, coming off the win over McMahon the other night. And then they played Staples 2-0. That was a loss, but certainly head coach Tori Strouser and Samantha DeLeo, who used to be the head coach, and she's back now as an assistant. They're trying to build this program up, and Coach Strouser played her college field hockey at Penn State, which is my alma mater. So always like hearing that.
Yeah, as I said when announcing Staples, there's a lot of very strong teams in the FCIAC this year, and Warde is no exception. There are a lot of strong players. There's a few players on this team that play for our club team, so I know them well and have coached them in and out of season, and so expect some really good hockey here again today.
Kari, just jump in real quick. Want to touch on this with you. You know, when I started covering high school sports in southwestern Connecticut in 2005, 2006, there were really 3 programs,
yes.
You know, 3 or 4 programs.
Yes.
Boy, what a difference a decade has made. I mean, you look at what Coach Seberg has done at Norwalk,
yes.
as you mentioned, what Joe Skarupa did at Fairfield Ludlow. That program is on the uptick. It is really top to bottom. You've got to be ready to bring your A game every day.
Well, there's a lot of club hockey now,
yeah.
and you know, as with any sport now, athletes are playing year round, and
Yep.
so there's a lot of competition. Just in the area alone, there's 5 to 6 clubs. Fairfield Warde breaking that up nicely inside the circle. So you have within the area 5 to 6 clubs. So there's no shortage of play on the off season. A lot of these players playing playing year round. There's Darien trying to get some shot on goal, but Warde goalie and also the defensive unit doing a great job breaking that up. Ball going through the center of the field. Raina John stopping that, and now right in the center again. Darien with an opportunity here to attack in their offensive 30. You see that ball being taken very quickly. It looks like Lindsay Olson starting that ball and sending it, but it's broken up, and I'm going to, as I do, apologize to you at home for being able to see the numbers here from up top.
Well, we are elevated and set back from
yes.
the field, so sometimes it can be difficult when
with the black.
No, the coloring.
Yeah,
you know,
with the black.
We've got the
white's
red
a
on
little
black.
sharper.
That's right.
And also can see Raina John stopping that ball, sending it out wide to the right, and looks like that might be Molly McGuckin having that ball, or I'm not quite sure who. That definitely looks like Molly Hellman by the running style. She sends the ball ahead. Great stop by the goalie, and good stop again by the Fairfield Warde defensive unit. You're going to see a lot of these teams defensively who are under attack quite often have a good, strong unit. You'll see the 6 down inside. That was a great job pulling the ball off and changing. You just saw some good footwork there. Field hockey, like any other sport, it's all about the footwork, moving your feet around the ball, and that was some really fancy footwork there, which is really good to see. Now, Fairfield Warde bringing the ball inside their offensive circle, trying to get an opportunity in their offensive circle, but that was broken up nicely by Darien.
So it'll be Darien ball going the other way. Again, blue wave in the white, moving from right to left. Here's Tala Garcia on the near side of the field, number 17, the senior for Darien.
She's going to try switch of field. She's sending the ball back here, it looks like.
And this is something Darien historically has done so well, Kari, right? They switch fields so quickly.
Yeah, you know, years back at the high school level, that was never really a thing. You never really wanted to stop the ball and send it back, but you know, collegiately that was used all the time. And now, this looks like that was a great try by senior captain Katie Duggan to send that ball across, but there was no one on the left side of the goal mouth to send that ball in. But that was great patience and a good effort there. I think they're going to have a few more of those opportunities, and hopefully they can convert that to some goals. But you know, Coach Minikis, formerly a collegiate coach, and you're seeing that a lot at the high school level now, where you're trusting to find the spaces on the field, and sometimes it's backwards, and it's not a bad plan to just change the point of attack and pull the ball back, find the spaces on the field. Here's goalkeeper Monisha Kula coming out and kicking that ball out to her teammates. A lot of people getting panicked when the goalkeeper comes out. Goalkeeper can play that ball anywhere inside the circle. And, you know, goalkeepers are players, too. They can play the ball anywhere inside the circle, and we want them to be aggressive and come out and use their skill level. Sending the ball back into the center of the field looks like Molly Hellman coming back for the ball, ran in the center of the field. Raina John, she's sending the ball flat and wide. It did get tipped. I think the intention was for that ball to go flat out right, but it got tipped by a Fairfield Warde player. Here's Molly again. You see her, she's so quick. She got all the way over to the other side of the field. You're wondering how she got there so fast. She's super quick. She was on the left side all the way over to the right side.
Had a chance to talk to Molly Hellman after Darien's win over Long Meadow. Really enjoying the start to this season, and why not? Darien undefeated. They've played well thus far against some pretty good competition.
Yeah, Molly works really hard. She plays for AGH, a club team in the that plays in Greenwich on the off season, and she works really hard. She's going to Williams to play field hockey.
Yep.
So she should be really proud of herself.
That was Sydney Falterer, the junior goalie for Fairfield Warde, on that last kick save. Ball is on the far side of the field here. It'll be Darien possession inside the 30 here.
So umpire just signaling for that ball to go back to the spot of the foul. The ball generally needs to take it within a stick length to where the foul occurred. And it needs to just be stopped as well. It's a good effort. It's got nobody wide of the goal cage. Someone's just there to tip that ball in.
Rolls across the end line, so it'll go back to Fairfield Warde here. Kari, I can't thank you enough. On a personal note, I know you've got your knee surgery tomorrow, and you're out here. Not only are you going to coach the JV game that's coming up after this varsity game, but to do all the work that you've done for DAF Media in its first 3 years of existence. Hard to believe that it's been 3 years since we've been doing this.
You know,
field hockey has been a big part of it.
Yeah, lots of compliments. I have my mom is actually watching in Florida. My brother's watching upstate New York. So my family's getting a chance to watch Raina play.
Well, we want to thank them for tuning in.
Yeah, and a lot of people, you know, I'm getting compliments from so many people saying what a gift this is, and you know, people just not able to watch. Katie Duggan, her grandmother, watching as well. You know, not able to see her granddaughter play, and getting the opportunity. Just, you know, grandparents from around. Last year we had some, or 2 years ago we had some grandparents watching from Italy, and just people from everywhere, and able to enjoy their children, grandchildren. If they're not able to be here, they're able to watch live. So this is just a great thing.
Thank you for all that you've done to make it special. And you mentioned Katie Duggan's grandmother. I had a chance to talk to Katie's mom after the last game, and Grandma loves watching these live streams. So we want to thank her for always tuning in and being a loyal viewer.
Especially on a day like today, you don't have to be out here in the rain. You could sit at home.
It's not a big crowd, that's for sure. And it was, as we talked, we were texting before you came. It was coming down for about 30 minutes. Just a constant pounding of the raindrops.
Well, we definitely want to get these games in. I was talking to Mo just before, and I believe if they get a half in, it'll be a legitimate game here. And we haven't seen any lightning.
And of course, we don't want to see that, because if we do, that's an automatic 30-minute stoppage until the last strike of lightning, if you will.
So the umpire had signaled a third-party call. Again, we explain a lot of the rules, because a lot of people watching at home just hear a ton of whistles and don't really understand what's happening. And we explain that third-party call is like a moving pick in basketball. If you watch any basketball, it's the easiest way to explain it. So you just can't shield the opposition from getting that ball. There's Darien breaking that up. Raina John's clearing that ball out, sending it through. Her progress was just impeded by the stick of the opposition, so the umpire's going to signal that ball to go back. And Darien going to have a chance here. Right in the center of the field, they're attacking. It's a great aerial ball. It looks like Maddie Holt. Fairfield Warde getting, that's a nice pull back, but not on her stick so tight, so Darien able to get that ball, and they're going to tack down the right side, looks like, if we can keep that ball in bounds. And again, Molly Hellman with her speed, able to get from the center of the field over to the right, and that ball lifted up into danger, and so umpire going to signal danger, and that ball's going to come out, and that was off a Darien stick that was dangerous. Raina John's blocking that ball in the center of the field, see if Darien can generate something trying to send a ball left to Captain Katie Duggan, but that's a pretty easy ball to pick off if it goes from right to left. Great ball from Fairfield Warde. They're attacking down the right side, and Maddie Holt breaking that ball up and sending it flat across the field. Just misses.
Madeline Goodman of Fairfield Warde was the player who intercepted that pass.
Maddie Goodman, great player.
Izzy Smith set to come in for Darien.
And again, our DAF media production crew, Ben Wychulis on camera 1, Braden Schenk on camera 2, our ISO camera, and our director back in the booth is Danny Owenati, who always does solid work for DAF media.
So I'm just taking a look at this Fairfield Warde squad. It's very small. There's 15 players listed here with the goalkeeper. So that means there's only 14 field players. You need 10 to field a squad. So just with 4 subs, you know, it's a good small squad. A lot of playing time for the players that are there on the field, and hopefully no injuries. But it should be a lot of playing time for the players that are there.
Here comes Darien.
Looks like that could be Sarah Bogdan.
It was Sarah Bogdan with the white headband on the far side of the field.
That player's just outside. She's outside the 25. She can send that ball right in without having to dribble the 5 meters. Here's Rena Johns right up with a flat stick stop, but the it looks like it could have been Izzy Smith who came up from behind. Or no, Brinsley.
She can send that in, but it has to be touched, right?
It had to be touched inside the circle, yes.
Inside the circle for it to be a goal to be scored.
Yeah, that was a great job by Tala Garcia. Looked like she had found the defender's foot. Yeah, the umpire signaling. She did a nice right pull, and she found the defender's foot, so she's able to take this ball. Darien on the left side of the field. Tala Garcia, one of the 4 captains on Darien team this year. She's going to send this ball back to Maddie Holt. Now, Maddie's playing a different position. She's been shifted back. It's a great ball movement by Darien, sending the ball into the center from Rena Johns, and Rena sending that ball out right, and Darien attacking down the right side. Good job by Fairfield Warde to break this up, and they're sending it down again and just going out of bounds.
You can hear the wind, slight breeze whipping through. Overcast day here. It was hot and humid earlier, so you kind of knew that the rain could be coming. As Kari mentioned, just hope that the thunder showers stay away for at least a while here.
Fairfield Warde coming down on the right side. Good job by Darien breaking that ball up. Again, here's Tala Garcia with a little bit of speed, and Warde getting to that ball first. So they're going to attack inside. Not able to be broken up just yet, and they are inside their offensive 25, just outside of the circle. So you're going to look for Darien to mark up their players here, and you're going to look for Fairfield Warde to carry this ball 5 meters before they go inside. Almost stopped, but not quite, and good job to send that ball back and then right in. That was a great one-time. Sending the ball back, again, finding the space, not always bad to just change a point of attack. Here comes Rena Johns coming up with that ball and finding her teammate, sending that ball through. Good bit of stick work.
You can tell, watching the action, both of these teams well coached.
Oh, good effort, but just a little bit too wide. Here's Captain Izzy Smith, again, one of the 4 captains. Number 1, she sends the ball into Sarah Bogdan, dribbles right into a Fairfield Warde who has her stick just down right on the turf. And there's a great stick stop by Rena Johns, sends that ball immediately, and it takes a free hit right away. So it's a great job to get that ball. Great start. Looked like a little bit of a...
Nice takeaway there by Anka Dixon, the junior for Fairfield Warde, number 17. Ball's on the far side of the field here. Darien will reset.
Now you're going to hear some whistles again on the other side. There's a football game happening just over the ridge. So you'll hear a few whistles. If you don't see play stop here, just know that there's a football game happening.
Over on Stadium East, here comes Fairfield Warde with numbers. And again, Tala Garcia.
Yeah, it's a great job on her part to break that up. So Coach Minnick is making some subs on the forward line. A little bit of a different formation here if you see.
Well, the rain certainly cooled things down a bit, Kari Johns.
It was so
It was hot.
hot and humid today. I was wondering actually how they were going to play today, and that was a great aerial ball down the right side. But we're doing a really good job and not giving too much, but that was great stick work to get around. And again, trying to dribble around a flat stick never works in field hockey. You'll see those girls with their sticks down, and it really requires some great stick work. Which Molly Hellman looks like Molly Hellman just was able to get around. Really good work. And a goal. That was a fantastic job.
And that's a goal for Darien.
Let's see, do we have an instant replay on that one? Fairfield Warde calling for a timeout.
So
just wanted to
Ward's
signal.
going to take a timeout. We'll take a timeout, regroup. We'll get that goal scorer for you when we get back. You're watching the DAF Media Network. We are back here live on the DAF Media Network. You're taking a look at Darien's number 22, Evelyn Heidi. She was the goal scorer on that first goal for the Blue Wave. As the rain now has started to come down again, umbrellas are out. So Evelyn Heidi, number 22, she scores for the Blue Wave to put Darien up 1-0 with 13:30 left. And we are just about ready to resume here as Darien leads Fairfield Warde 1-0. Warde called a timeout after that goal by the Blue Wave. Damian Andrew, Kari Johns, as we are just about ready to resume. And we are underway here. Again, as the skies have opened up a little bit once again. Tala Garcia on the near side here. Nice defensive effort out of her. And a little ping pong action here between these two.
It's a good self-start on Tala's part. She's got to send that ball into a different space, trying not to send it into the opposition. Serena Johns coming up in the ball in the center of the field. Reina's a freshman, but nice and tall, 5'10", so she's got a lot of height. She takes that ball straight away.
And a nice stop that time by Sydney Falterer, the junior goalie for Ward.
Yeah, she got some good experience last year. I remember calling that name and had some great saves last year. Good opportunity. Great ball, send it in again, and ball just wide. It's smart of her to let that ball go. You don't want to stop that ball and send it right back into traffic.
Wide of the far post there, so going the other way. This will be Fairfield Warde ball now as the Mustangs take over and try to mount an attack here against this Darien defense.
It's a good ball trying to go outside wide, but unfortunately not a receiver over there. So
a little bit of an unforced error there out of Fairfield Warde. Here's the ball in the circle.
Great save again. And another good save.
And another save by Falterer on the shot by Brinsley Rush, the junior.
Brinsley, second year player for Varsity. Nice try to send that ball in again by Reina Johns. A lot of power there. Darien really needs to try to capitalize on those balls being sent into the circle. You know, as you know, Damien, these games, you know, they can turn in a second. So you want to try to score another goal.
Absolutely.
And Ward trying to get a goal back, obviously. We always tell the girls reset. You know, one goal really doesn't mean too much. You get a goal, you shake it off. You try to.
It is a sport, much like soccer,
yes.
where you could go two halves, obviously,
yes.
and not have any offensive production,
yes.
and then within a minute of overtime, somebody could score.
That's always a frustrating part. For soccer, for me, oh, there's Darien with an opportunity again. For soccer, for me, that goalie, I feel so bad for the goalie with that lunge, with the goal cage is so big.
A lot of territory to patrol. There's this. Fairfield Warde gets it back as they look to get upfield here.
See Darien they just have nice little inside-outside passes. Good shot on goal, broken up by Fairfield Warde. They're staying low, Darien, and another goal scored.
That's a goal for Darien as Molly Hellman scores. Number 2, Molly Hellman.
Darien goal, Molly Hellman.
Just really important. She was right there on that rebound, stick low, ready to receive the ball, and just a lot of times it's not that first shot, but the rebound that comes off the goalie's pads. You know, the goalie does a great job by saving that first one, and even the second shot sometimes. I like Fairfield Warde here getting right back in and ready to go. There's no hesitation on their part. They're just, you know, get that ball back and a little fire there, and they're just ready to roll right away.
So Darien up 2-0 here on goals by Heidi and Hellman.
Evelyn Heidi, a sophomore, first time varsity player, first year varsity player. She was pulled up postseason last year and has done some great work for the varsity team thus far. Looks like Katie Duggan. Yep, sends that ball in, and Sarah Bogdan coming back to get that ball, trying to get the ball on her front stick, but Fairfield Warde just really relentless and trying to clear that ball out, doing a great job.
Bogdan and Duggan, both members of this DAF media organization in the off season. Duggan, of course, will play lacrosse at Middlebury College up north.
Yeah, Katie Duggan came back to field hockey last year.
She did. She transferred in from Greenwich Academy and came back to field hockey last season and has been a nice addition. I think if you asked Mo Minikis, certainly happy to have her.
Absolutely one of the best kids on the team. She is just, everywhere she goes, she brings just a positive attitude.
You bring up a great point. You talk about, you've had a lot of teammates in your playing
yes.
career through the year. I mean,
yeah.
she is all about team.
Yes.
And that's what's great to see. She gets
yes.
so up for every game and brings a lot of school spirit to the sideline and on the field.
She really does. I don't think there's any way with her on the field you can have a bad day.
No. No, she's her energy is contagious. And here's Fairfield Warde now.
You just saw Brinsley Rush just saw an amazing ball. The ball that she just sent was just so good. Oh, thank you. She just saw a great sent a great ball down on the line. That was a you see the umpire signaling for a corner. The goalie just cleared that ball, and it was dangerous. Her body was just tilted back slightly. We have a listener watching from London, so we're going to say hello to Pam, who's watching all the way from London.
Thanks so much for tuning in, Pam. That's great. We have a number of live views.
Insert Raina Johns hitting the ball. That ball unfortunately lifted as well. And so that the ball, unless it's a drag flick on the corner hit, the initial hit, or an aerial ball, if there's any backswing, has got to be just crossing the goal line at the height of the baseboard. So that ball was just too high. Good work, Brinsley Rush there. She turns around, but sends that ball right to Fairfield
Number 14, Alexandra DePiro, the junior. Number of juniors on this Fairfield Warde team. Just 5 seniors.
Yeah.
And 1 sophomore. Everybody else on the team is a junior. So she'll have, Coach Strouser will definitely have some players back on this squad again next year who have gained lots of experience at the varsity level. You can hear the rain in the background. The wind has picked up a little bit, which is never a good thing. We have a makeshift press box here off of the main press box here at Stadium Field. So we are under a canopy, and weather is always watching the weather.
Pam, we might have your weather from London.
Well said. Nice stop there by Falterer. And, you know, obviously Darien up 2-0, but as you mentioned a little earlier in the broadcast, Sydney Falterer, the Warde goalie, has played well. She's made some nice stops. Brinsley Rush.
Playing really well right now. Brinsley making some really smart passes.
That was cleared by Anka Dixon. Nice
job to find the foot of the defender unless she lifted. Yeah. That was a great job. Couldn't see. It looked like it hit her foot. She lifted it up, but it was also screened here. But the umpire has a great view down there and signaled for that corner.
So a penalty corner. Believe it or not, 5:50 remaining. It's our first second penalty corner. Sorry, second penalty corner of the afternoon. And Katie Duggan, the inserter here, up top to Johns.
She's going to slip that ball left, and it looks like it found.
It did find Anka Dixon's foot.
Good clear out by Warde.
There's Tala Garcia near the 40.
She might. Yep, she's going to find Raina Johns in the center again. Raina does a really good job of moving that ball into a good space on her first touch. It sends that ball in, but Katie Duggan just unable to handle. It's a little, you know, this weather is good for field hockey. It lets the ball move quite nicely. We play here generally in the States on something called field turf, which is a little bit different than where they play in the rest of the world. Instead of AstroTurf, it's similar to grass. Not complaining. There's other places that do play on actual grass, so we're very fortunate to actually have field turf. But the ball does move a little bit nicer when it rains here, but it can get a little bumpy as well.
Well, here's something I heard, and I don't know if you were with me when we were talking about this, but Longmeadow
plays on grass.
Yes. Yeah. And they had their stick skills at a very high level,
yes.
and you can see why. That certainly helps that,
yeah.
Right? If you're playing on grass most of the time.
Well, you know, you have to generally do a little bit more 3D skill. Oh, that's a beautiful
nice
goal.
And
Izzy Smith
with the 3rd goal of the afternoon. And Darien now adds to its lead, up 3-0 with 4:20 remaining in the first half.
That's a great pass. Izzy Smith just waiting on the left, just on the left post of the goal, and she was able to just get that tip in. It's a great pass from Molly Hellman. So captain to captain. Here's Izzy again.
Molly Hellman adds to her stat line in this game as she assists on the Smith goal and coming off her own goal.
Katie Duggan with a nice little pullback, sends that ball into Sarah Bogdan, cuts up for it. Good save again by Falterer. But here, Izzy Smith there again, sends a ball in and signaling for a penalty corner.
It'll be a penalty corner.
Pat's laugh.
You can see here Pat D'Agostino laughing in the press box. Yeah, not a huge crowd here because of the weather.
Duggan from the corner.
And here's Katie Duggan. She'll insert this. Looking for
Tala
Tala
Garcia.
Garcia.
She's going to send that ball over to
Nice save by Falterer.
Nice save.
signal to come out.
Maddie Holt with the shot, the sophomore, and Sydney Falterer with the save.
We have a confirmation that it is just as soggy in London.
In London, at Buckingham Palace. Again, want to thank everybody for watching this DAF Media broadcast. The DAF Media Network is a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. All student volunteers on the crew of these broadcasts. Today it's our director, Danny Owenati. Camera 1 is Ben Wachulis, and camera 2, our ISO camera, Braden Schenk, his third event in 3 days doing yeoman's work for DAF Media.
It's a great job on Ward to do a little bit of a deception move, but Katie Duggan not falling for it, sending that ball up. Looks like she was able to find a foot, but what happens is the umpire will hold the whistle to see if Darien has an advantage. And since the player did come in and able to try to get a shot on goal, the advantage goes away. So the whistle's just held if you're watching at home. Ball going out of, oh, not quite. Oh, yes, out of bounds. So Ward able to get this ball. Now they're going to attack down the left side. So Ward hasn't had not a lot of opportunity on their attacking side. Darien pretty much controlling the tempo of this game so far offensively. We're doing a good job defensively, though, I do have to say, with Darien being in their side. We're having quite a few viewers watching.
We are. We have 42 live views right now, and want to thank everybody for tuning in. We hope you are warm and safe and sound wherever you're watching from in clement weather here in Darien at Stadium Field. But so glad to be with you on this rainy Thursday afternoon. We've got a whistle there as Johns goes down. She pops right back up. Again, Darien is coached by the longtime head coach Mo Minikis, her assistant Sherry Ramsey.
Yes, we had said before, Mo just 2 weeks ago had got her career 300th win.
300th win, unbelievable, right? Darien, of course, has won 8 of the last 11 FCIAC championships.
Yes.
Still looking for that outright state title, which has eluded Darien, believe it or not, since 2013. We've shared a couple of state championships.
Yeah, I had been looking back. So it's been 7 of the last 11 years, I believe. 7 for states. 7 of 11, I think. If we look back, if we go back 11 years, I'll check that. I'll check that stat.
We'll take a quick break. We are at the half. It's 3-0 Darien. We'll be back on the DAF Media Network.
Within Fairfield County, and indeed unique on a national level. For 20 years, the Darien Foundation has been investing in Darien in offering our community organizations, emergency services, and schools a local resource to help them pursue innovation and excellence. Thank you for supporting the Darien Foundation. We are building a better Darien together.
We are at the half here on the DAF Media Network. 3-0 Darien varsity field hockey, a rainy, soggy, even a little chilly day here in Darien, Connecticut. Our DAF Media production crew, once again, Ben Wychulis on camera 1. Camera 2 is Braden Shank, and he's giving us this lovely shot here of the rain, as you can see, coming down. The light fixture there. The lights are on here in Darien at Stadium Field. So it's 3-0, as I mentioned. Our director is Danny Owenati, who, as always, does a terrific job. But we'll be back in just a bit with more live field hockey here on the DAF Media Network. We are back here live on the DAF Media Network. Damian Andrew alongside Kari Johns for this varsity field hockey matchup between two FCIAC rivals, Darien and Fairfield Warde. Wave up 3-0 as we begin the second half. Darien now in the home whites, moving from left to right on your screen. Warde in the black uniforms with the red numbers, moving from right to left.
Warde in their attacking half for a start in the second half. We are just above the entire football team, ladies and gentlemen, so you're going to hear a little bit of ruckus. They've come to cheer on their field.
Football team has stopped by to lend its support. You can hear them in the background.
And they love to hear some goal scored, so you might get a little extra here.
One of Coach Minikis' sons is on the football team, Michael Minikis, coming off a big game against Southington. So he's watching mom, coach, and watching the Blue Wave play. Damian Andrew, Kari Johns joining you on the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation.
If he's anything like our house, he has enough of field hockey and doesn't want anything else to do with it anywhere outside of.
There's Tala Garcia on the far side of the field.
It's a great ball she sends back to Maddie Holt. He's going to send this ball over, it looks like, to Sammy. Sends the ball into Raina Johns. Bring this ball around with some good speed and good skill.
Sammy Lindell. Here's Johns. Nice pass in front, and that's a goal for Darien.
Oh, no, looks like the ball went wide.
Oh, the ball did go wide.
Yeah.
From here, it looked like a goal, but it was a pretty pass by Johns.
Good effort. They're going to, nice breaking up. Here's Evelyn Heidi. Yes.
Yep, Evelyn Heidi here on the near side of the field. This will stay with Darien.
The football team feeling like she was pushed from behind, as you can hear.
Hey, little children down behind the goal. Please remove yourself.
Umpire signaling for a penalty. So umpire feeling that she was pushed from behind as well.
So a penalty corner here for Darien.
Darien going to try to take this from the other side. It's the football team trying their hand at cheerleading. If you can hear in the background. It's insert, shifting the ball over. Stop by goalkeeper. And finding a foot again inside the circle.
Nice stop by Falterer.
Looks like that ball's going to come just outside the circle. I'm going to pass that ball back to make sure that the ball has gone the required amount. Raina Johns pulling around. She's going to take some circle entry.
Lindsay Olson there on
Good
the
job
pass.
sending that ball in, and a good job by Falter to stop again.
Ball
Another
goes over
penalty
the
corner.
end line, and it'll be another penalty corner for Darien. So we didn't see one for much of the first half, Kari Johns, and now we've seen
Two right away.
two right away here in the second half. Darien continues to apply the pressure in their offensive half of the field. It'll be Evelyn Heidi, the inserter, on the far side of the field.
Corner. Children, please leave the end zone. You with the red sweatshirt. Ow.
Inserting Evelyn Heidi. Raina Johns receiving at the top of the circle, sending the ball over. Ball
Hellman.
back to Raina Johns. Rebound again. Nice save again by Falterer. Two saves.
Great save.
Nice kick save by Falterer. Falterer has been peppered with shots in this game, and she has certainly held her own. Yes, the score is 3-0 Darien, but a nice effort by Falterer. Tala Garcia on the far side of the field.
Ball coming back to Sammy Lindell. She's going to send the ball over to Lindsay Olson. Lindsay has some space to move the ball here. Send the ball over to Molly Hellman. Molly picking that ball up with some good speed, sending it into circle, and a nice little lift up on the stick, but Falter right there to stop, and looks like we get...
right there.
And
we have a
goal.
And we have a goal.
I'm not sure who got that stick out. It looked like it could have been
Molly.
Evelyn. Was it Molly?
It could have been Molly McGuckin.
Yeah, it could have been. It was Molly McGuckin or Evelyn Hyde. It looked like both of them were right there and kept their stick on the ball. That was some great ball movement. You saw that ball start on the left side of the field, transfer back to the center, all the way over to Lindsay Olson, who passed it to Captain Molly Hellman, and Molly saw the opportunity to send that ball in. It was just some good ball movement.
The wind has picked up.
Darien goal, Mackenzie O'Shea.
Oh, Kenzie O'Shea.
Mackenzie O'Shea with the goal. Number 5, so Mackenzie O'Shea, who is a member of DAF Media, with the goal for Darien.
Serena John's going down again.
Great effort out of Mackenzie O'Shea, and it's 4-0 Darien.
Ball being sent into Molly Hellman. Great reception on her part. She does a nice little pullover, sends the ball in. Another safe Falter, but then another rebound and shot and goal. Darien just not letting up right now.
Darien goal, Molly McGuckin.
And that was Molly McGuckin with the goal.
She must have heard us up here.
Yeah. So a balanced attack this afternoon for Darien. All 5 goals scored by 5 different players.
Rain's starting to come down pretty heavy now again. Been good so far, able to get this a lot of this game in. Looks like the umpire signaling for a penalty corner foul that happened over in the far side. I didn't see what happened. I'm not sure. I didn't see a flagrant foul. The only thing I can think of is that there was a call and the player didn't give the allotted 5 meters. I'm sorry, at home I didn't see at all what happened. I don't want to speculate. Inserted, top of the circle, and good stop by Raina Johns. Umpire signaling for another penalty corner. I didn't see it hit her body. It possibly could have by here. Sorry, again at home. Very tough to see through all the rain from this angle here. Inserted again, ball coming out. It has to come out of that gray line, which you see it did. It's a good stop by Molly Hellman. And she was just unfortunately, she was obstructed, so she's not able to get that ball out, which was what the call was. And the umpire signaling for that ball just to go back to the spot of the foul, so it can't be taken in a different spot.
Kari, I'm going to jump in here for just a second, just to kind of recap these last 2 goals. So Mackenzie O'Shea scores the 4th goal, assisted by Molly McGuckin, and then McGuckin scores her own goal for Darien's 5th goal, and that is where we stand right now here in the second half with approaching 20 minutes left in the game. 5-0 Blue Wave as the Darien varsity field hockey team has had an impressive display this afternoon against a very game Fairfield Warde team.
So Molly McGuckin, a first-year varsity player again, and Kenzie as well, but Molly a sophomore, so very young team. Again, she very skillful player, super quick, good stick work, and a good future for her, as you can see. Raina Johns in the center of the field. Raina Johns is really crafty. You're going to see her be able to get through a few players. She's nice and tall and long, and you see her just able to dribble through 3, 4, 5, 6 players as she just goes down the field and then sends that ball into the center. But a great breakup by, it looks like that could have been Alex DiPiero, and then she sends the ball through the center. Unfortunately, didn't have a receiver there.
There's Teddy Maloney.
Raina's staying nice and low and getting this ball around. She's going to pull this ball around and trying to send the ball in, but not getting a piece of it. Broken up again, and that looks like, is that Maddie, number 1? No.
Izzy Smith.
Oh, no, on the
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ward.
On Ward is
I think I saw one.
Cassie Llewellyn.
Oh, Cassie.
Yeah, it was Cassie Llewellyn. There's Hellman near side of the field. Gets it to Lindsay Olson.
Lindsay did a good job using her body to shield the ball, just sending the ball wide of the left post. Nobody there to.
Olson defended there by Elizabeth Falterer.
Folks, I have to say goodbye. Gotta get down to my JV team and get them ready for the next match. Hopefully we can get this in with the weather.
Want to thank Kari Johns, as always, for all of her work here on these broadcasts. Damian Andrew here with you, our DAF Media production crew, all student volunteers. Of course, Ben Wychulis is on camera 1, Braden Schenk on camera 2, and our director, who is doing a little bit of everything, some instant replay, and our graphics is Danny Owenati in the back. And it is a blustery, rainy day here in Darien, Connecticut, as we are under 20 minutes now remaining in this contest. 5-0 Darien, Blue Wave in the home white uniforms with the blue numbers as they look to continue to attack here. This is Lindsay Olson on the near side of the field. Well defended that time by Fairfield Warde. That was Carrie McKeon, the junior for Fairfield Warde. Here comes Darien now. Ball's in the circle. And this will go back to Fairfield Warde. Here's Hellman now. Hellman with a nice move. Good clear by Fairfield Warde on the Hellman pass into the circle. That was Elizabeth Falterer, number 27, with a nice defensive effort from Fairfield Warde. Here's Hellman. And it's tracked down by Sarah Bogdan. Taken away by Fairfield Warde. That ball rolls out of bounds. It'll stay with Darien. Here's Hellman. Hellman with a nice move around Llewellyn. Alexander DePiro on the far side of the ball, on the far side of the field rather, and defended by Teddy Maloney. The umbrella's out here at Stadium Field on the Darien High School campus. Damian Andrew joining you. Thanks for joining us. We've got viewers from all over the place, including overseas in London, England. And I want to thank everybody for tuning into this varsity field hockey game on a rainy, overcast, windy day. And we're under 17 minutes now remaining in the second half. As Darien, with an impressive start, 3 goals in the first half. They've added 2 more here in the second half, and that is where we stand. 5-0 Blue Wave. That ball rolls across the end line. It'll go back the other way to Fairfield Warde. Again, Fairfield Warde is coached by Tori Strouser. Her assistant coaches, Margaret Murphy and Samantha DeLeo. Now, Samantha DeLeo used to be the head coach at Fairfield Warde, moved out of the area, and then moved back, and she got back on the spot on the staff as an assistant under Coach Strouser. And Coach Strouser played her college field hockey at my alma mater, Penn State. Here's Hellman. Nice move by Hellman and a nice save by Falterer. So Sydney Falterer continues to play well in the cage for Fairfield Warde. The rain still coming down, although not as heavy right now. A one-on-one situation here on the far side of the field. Abby King, the senior, and she was defended by Sammy Lindell. So we've got a penalty corner here for Fairfield Warde. And we'll see if the Mustangs can get one on the scoreboard. The inserter is Ann Scheller, the junior, up top to Falterer. That hit the post. Nearly a goal by Fairfield Warde. The whistle, and it's going to go back to Darien, but a big opportunity goes by the wayside for Fairfield Warde, as they had a chance to cut into this Darien lead.
Number 7, Maggie Quick enters the game.
Darien making some substitutions here. Getting ready to come into the game, Kristen Benedict and Tess Keating. Maggie Quick already in the game for Darien off the sidelines. Here's Bogdan. She lunges for it. Another nice save by Falterer as the ball gets crossed into the circle. And it rolls out of bounds. Here's Olsen. Olsen to Hellman. Cleared away by Scheller of Fairfield Warde. Charlotte DeMittner, the senior. Tala Garcia gets the ball to Maloney. Here's Maloney in the corner, far side of the field. Darien in the home whites continuing to play the majority of this second half in their offensive half of the field. Hellman slides by. Here's Bogdan near side of the field. Tries to center it, and again, that Fairfield Warde defense does a nice job. Abby King clear, but Darien gets it right back. Here's Hellman weaving through traffic. The whistle, it stays with Darien. The players on the sideline have their rain gear on. We've had a stretch of beautiful weather here in southwestern Connecticut. Just not today. Sammy Lindell. Back pass to DeMittner. Here's Tala Garcia now. Tala Garcia tracks that one down. Catherine Vogt in at goal for Darien in this second half. Manisha Kula started the game for the Blue Wave. Vogt in there now. And we are approaching the 10-minute mark of the second half. There's Ann Scheller, the inserter here on this penalty corner for Fairfield Warde. Falterer inside the circle. That ball rolls out of bounds. Stays with Fairfield Warde. Ball's on the far side of the field for Darien. Back pass to Tala Garcia. There's Sammy Lindell. And a nice play by Abby King. The shot, but Vogt is there with the stop. And we're going to have a penalty corner, I believe, for Fairfield Warde. Time winding down here in the second half. Darien up 5-0.
Ward corner.
So it's Ann Scheller again, the inserter on this corner for Fairfield Warde. See if Fairfield Warde can make something happen here on this set piece. This is Falterer, Elizabeth Falterer, the junior. And we're going to have another penalty corner for Fairfield Warde. So another set piece here for the Mustangs. Ann Scheller, the inserter. There's Falterer. And that is a goal for no goal. No goal.
No goal.
Goal waved off. And it remains 5-0 Darien. Again, Darien coming into this game 4-0. They beat Ridgefield on the road in Ridgefield to open the season. And then a hard-fought win against one of their arch rivals in the conference and in the state, and that would be Staples. They won that in Westport. So back-to-back away games to start the season for Darien. Then they played a home game here last Saturday against Longmeadow High School out of Massachusetts, out of the greater Springfield area. And Longmeadow, one of the real state powers in field hockey in Massachusetts. Darien won that 2-1. And then they shut out Brian McMahon earlier this week, 4-0. And it certainly looks like Darien will run its record to a perfect 5-0. As we are under 7 minutes now remaining in this game. An impressive effort by the Blue Wave. And this is a Fairfield Warde team that is giving a lot of effort this season. Again, 2-2 coming in, beat St. Joe's to open up the season, then lost to Greenwich in a hard-fought 2-1 game. Beat McMahon, shut him out 3-0, and then lost to Staples 2-0. Back to the action here Charlotte DeMittner near midfield. Again, our DAF media production crew: Ben Wychulis, camera 1, camera 2, Braden Schenk. Our director in the back is Danny Owenati. Again, want to thank all of you for joining this live stream. Here's DeMittner as she takes it to the far side of the field. And a nice defensive play there by Fairfield Warde, taken away by the Mustangs. Emma Riley in the game for Darien. Lindsay Eriks, number 18, on the near side of the field. This is Emma Riley, the junior. Back to Kristen Benedict as Sammy Lindell to DeMittner. Here's Tala Garcia on the far side of the field for Darien. Under 4 minutes remaining in the game. And here's a 3-on-1 situation for Fairfield Warde. Nice stop by Vogt. Catherine Vogt with a big save there. And another kick save. So Catherine Vogt stopping some big shots here in the second half, has looked good in goal for Darien. There's Eriks, taken away by Anka Dixon. There's Dixon on the near side of the field here. Nice play by Emma Riley, taken away from Dixon. You got to think that Fairfield Warde would at least like to get something on the scoreboard here to leave Stadium Field and go back home with at least a positive offensively. Have played well in spots defensively, has Fairfield Warde, against a very tough opponent on the road. Ball near midfield now. Here comes Fairfield Warde. Ball rolls out of bounds. It'll stay with Warde. Minute 30 remaining in this game. And we were hopeful that the weather would cooperate. And we are going to get this entire game in. No thunder showers. Just some heavy rain and wind. And the temperature has certainly dropped. But it was hot earlier today, so it's actually very comfortable. Under a minute remaining now in this game, as Darien has a commanding 5-0 lead. We've got a penalty corner here for Fairfield Warde. And Ann Scheller will be the inserter here. Maddie Goodman up top has the shot deflected, blocked. There's Llewellyn. 20 seconds left in this one as Darien will go home feeling very good about their effort this afternoon against a Fairfield Warde team that they come ready to play and have played tough in all 4 of their previous games. But that will do it as Darien runs its record to 5-0, and they beat Fairfield Warde 5-0. As you can see, the team rushes out onto the field, surrounds Catherine Vogt, who was the second half goalie for Darien, did a nice job. A shout out to our DAF Media production crew, Ben Wychulis on camera 1, Braden Schenk on camera 2. Our director is Danny Owenati. Darien wins again 5-0. For Kari Johns, I am Damian Andrew. This has been a presentation of the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. Again, Darien wins 5-0. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. Take care.